What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I'm your host, your bastard of ceremonies, the one and only Reckless Rexx Ruger. That, of course, is my silent partner, the Freddie Mercury puppet. We are back with another banger of an episode. You're looking at me. You're looking at the smoldering good looks, the luscious blonde locks, and you're saying, where do I know that face? Well, I also happen to be the one and only love child of One Diamond David Lee Roth, making me unequivocally the son of glam, the front man for the band, adored by millions of fans, the peanut butter to your jam, Mr. Wham, Bam, thank you, ma'am, wop, bop, a loo, bop, a wop, bam, bam, shazam, hot damn. I needed to get that out. That's been pent up all day. That's been heavy on my heart, like it always is. I look like the man, I sound like the man, and my lawyers are going to prove unequivocally this year, through DNA testing, conclusively, that I am who I say I am. In the great words of our American poet Popeye, I am what I am. And that's all that I am. So we will prove it. But enough about me. Enough about me. It's not about me. These episodes aren't about me. My guest is here. We're going to make it about him. We're going to make it about him. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. So let's get another one in. And there he is. Look at that. Taking a sip already. I'm already driving him to drink.
How are you, man?
My apologies for that. You won't be the first person that I've done that to.
Hey, I apologize for being late, man.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries. The only reason that I come on there is just because I'm sitting up here in my studio, and I know sometimes real life does happen, man. You know what I mean? I work in healthcare. I'm a nurse. The podcast is a side hustle. You know what I mean? So I know, man, shit goes down sometimes, man. I've had to reschedule. I've had many technical difficulties, as I'm sure you can imagine. I've had people drop out of these Google Meet rooms, my power go out, my internet go out. The good thing is I'm 52 years old. I do not believe in editing. Every hiccup stays in.
Nice.
It's not very rock and roll if you go polish it up and make it too slick.
No, that's very true. Only we get to get away with that when we do our albums.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No Pro Tools going on here. I am the anti-Motley Crue of podcasting. There's no slick tricks going on here.
Nice.
So, but I appreciate you doing this, man, and it really is a pleasure to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
So when you've been doing this a long time, is it still the same thrill, man? You guys have a new album coming out in September.
It's always a thrill because we're that kind of band, and every band always says the same thing every album cycle. Oh, this is our best stuff yet, and you have to say that to hype up your album. But we believe this.
Right.
So, I mean, we do believe that this new record is, in our opinion, it is the best thing we have ever put down in recording as a group. I think we, all five of us, have put forth our best performance that we ever have on a record. So hopefully it shines through and people can see that.
And are you one of those guys who, because nowadays it's very easy for people to sit at home behind a keyboard. Everybody is a critic. Everybody has an opinion now. Social media has afforded us this luxury. I don't know if it shouldn't be taken away from many people. But everybody is a critic, a journalist, on here saying they're not what they once were. This is not their best work. This is their best work. Did you buy into a lot of that after doing this for so long? Are you a guy that looks at feedback? Reviews, any of that kind of stuff?
Man, we look at every single thing. Yeah, we
do.
And we're because we are our worst critics.
Yeah.
And I know, especially for me and Larry, because I think we're the two closest to we're the longest members of the band. So we take everything a little bit more personally.
Yeah.
And we can read like 100 glowing reviews, and there'll be that one and be like, man, why didn't this guy like this? We focus on the negative. So we do. Unfortunately, we read every review and every comment. Yeah, we do.
And now, was it deliberate now? I mean, I know it's not easy now. The record industry is a shell of what it used to be or whatever. But your last full length was 2019. So a lot of people might say, wow, 6 years between albums, which now does seem to be, it is starting to become a little more the norm rather than like the old 2 year deal. You know what I mean? Was it deliberate? Did you guys want it to be this long between albums?
It was COVID, man. We Nephilim Grove came out. We had booked a European New Zealand tour, and a week later we canceled our tour because the world locked down.
Yeah.
So we never had a chance to get out and do any touring or any promoting for Nephilim Grove at all.
Right.
So we were pretty defeated at that time. I mean, a new album comes out, the world shuts down, we can't do shit about it. I mean, it's kind of like a dead record, which we thought was also one of our better. So now we're looking at this new album cycle. We got 2 albums to push. So we've got to push the last one too, and deliver it in a way, because I don't think any of us had it in us to put forth that kind of energy again into something, thinking that it may never do anything or see the light of day. So we took a hiatus, and I think it did a world of good for us. I think we needed it. We needed to get in touch with ourselves during that time.
Yeah.
A lot of us had a lot of things going on. So yeah, we needed time to regroup and learn what we loved and to get back to it.
And Nephilim Grove was 9 songs, 53 minutes. I've noticed through on my Apple Music, the album is Major Arcana, right? And
Yes.
And the title track is out right now. It says it's going to be 10 songs. In this day and age with dwindling attention spans and people saying that, oh, it's an EP world, even a singles world, bro, where people just aren't listening to albums in their entirety no more. Do you guys sit around and have the conversation? How long do we want this? How many songs do we want this to be?
We follow the old school way of thinking. And
Thank God somebody does.
When Larry and I ad nauseum, we put our albums in order multiple ways that we think flows right and sounds good. We are still the belief of, you listen to a record from beginning to end and it tells a story from beginning to end. Flow is important. We've taken the Metallica route since early days of our band, where you open up the album with your battery. You hit it with the big, heavy song. Song 2 maybe brings it down a little bit. By song 3 or 4, the ballad comes in. And then we always looked at it like, okay, vinyl, side B. What's going to start? The strong song is going to start side B of the vinyl. So just being old school guys, we've always approached our albums with that mentality.
And is there a right or wrong? Is there a right or wrong answer as to how many minutes an album should be? Because getting back to my point about like when guys are critiquing albums, I tend to see a lot of times where, and I agree with you. I'm 52 years old. I used to love when Metallica would put out a 60, 70-minute album. Man, you geeked out over that kind of stuff. It was great. But now you're seeing a lot of people saying, this could have been shorter. This could have been leaner. This could have been trimmer. Why wasn't this, this was 50 minutes. Why wasn't it 40? Why, if it's 40, why wasn't it 35? You know what I mean? Is there a definite answer for you guys?
We probably would not go above 10 because of royalties.
Yes.
Because anything above 10, you don't get royalties on.
Oh, interesting.
So there are little reasons why bands do certain things they do, but we always try to keep 9-10 songs within an hour. We have a problem with writing too damn long songs. Yeah. Like we start writing a song, all of a sudden it's 6.5 minutes. We're like, how are we picking songs live? Because we're going to run out of time. Right.
You're going to keep these people here and it's going to be like, all right, the band hits the stage at this time and they may never leave.
Yeah, exactly. So no, everything is calculated, probably a bit too much, but we've thought the EP, we've never really done many EPs. Just because when we start writing, it just starts flowing out and we just keep going and going and going. So I don't know. I mean, never say never. There's always
I think what you guys do is served best by an album, though. You know what I mean? It is, because you guys very much fit that mold that you just talked about, like where there's a story. I believe, especially in the metal world, I believe that almost every album, like by nature, we always hear the term concept album, but I think they're all kind of conceptual. As you said, you are telling a story.
I theme our records. The only concept record I ever wrote was The Knowing. That was a complete fabricated concept story. From beginning to end, and it's made to when it ends. The last song is called The Day I Return, and it ends with the music that starts the album. So it's meant to be a cycle. that you can just keep listening to it over and over, and it all continuously makes sense. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. So what would you say with this? What would you say with this new album then? Without giving too many Easter eggs away, so to speak. What were the themes on this new album that you feel like that you're speaking to?
No Easter eggs, nothing to really give away. I've been open about this from the beginning and in other interviews and everything. This album is the last 5+ years of my life struggling with mental illness and other ailments. I worked in therapy a long time to remove my mind from like the darker places I need to go to in order to write this kind of music.
Yeah. I get that.
And we took that hiatus, and I was doing like really, really well. And I had to sit down with my family. Seriously, it sounds ridiculous, but I literally had to sit down with my family and say, guys, you know what this means. I'm gonna have to go there, and I don't want to go, but if we're gonna write an album, I got to do this.
Yeah.
So they understood, and I'm still pulling myself back out of that now. So I don't know if it's worth it for me much longer. I don't know. It depends on how much I can get. Like,
yeah,
I'm done with the negativity, man. I can't.
Yeah. But it is good though that we are in a world nowadays, though, man, like where you are seeing people, man, like being, it's not the stigma that it once was to be able to talk about these kind of things, which does feel good.
I had to give up my metal persona, and I've been joking about this in interviews lately. We are all posers, and I blame Deicide for it. I do. Because we're coming up at the same time, man. We're starting these metal bands. We want metal cred. And then you get a guy comes out and burns an inverted cross in his forehead.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Yeah.
It's like, how do you compete with that?
That's commitment. That's commitment.
I got mental illness, and I like Star Wars. No, man, I've been crucified. No one would have accepted a metal band like that. So we all put it on and faked it to get what we wanted to do. And I reached a point in my life, man, where it's like, I don't care what anybody thinks or says. I really don't give a shit anymore. So
I think that's the optimum, like, mental health too, man. When you do get to that point where you just don't give a shit no more, you start to realize what's important. You gotta
hit rock bottom, and when you do, you pull yourself up, and you got a better understanding of what you need to do.
And I think it has helped too, because like I told you when you were asking about, how being confused about the, me coming at you, like, is this a boxing podcast I'm coming at? Because I do 2 of them, but it is nice in the boxing world. You may or may not know this, but there's been a lot of those guys coming out talking about mental health. And I think when we see these guys that we perceive as big, strong, tough guys, being vulnerable like that, I think it even opens those gates even more than makes people feel more comfortable. Like when the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, can say he's battled mental illness. I think people say, hey, wow, like this really can zap anybody,
We're the Gen X generation. So we grew up with, the jokes about it. It's true. We didn't have the internet. We were, the street lights come on, we come home, and our parents, our fathers, guys my age, I'm 53.
Yeah.
My dad was, get up.
Yeah.
Put some dirt in it. Don't cry, boys, don't cry. It was like you were programmed from youth to be a man and hold
Stifle
it in. And that fucked a lot of us up, man.
Yeah, it did. I think it left a lot of us not able to process our feelings very well, for sure.
And ended up in a psych ward, and it was bad, man. And seriously, it can, you get that moment where you're lost.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what to do anymore, and you feel helpless, and it really cripples you.
Is music in a way very cathartic and therapeutic for you?
Always has been, man. I have used November's Doom as a source of my therapy my entire life.
Yeah.
It just got later in life that I needed something different for therapy. It got to where I enjoy November's Doom more for the fans than I do for myself anymore.
Right.
Because I do charity work. I'm in the 501st. I go to children's hospitals. I troop for kids. I love bringing joy to people, smiles on kids' faces in the hospital. I love that. Yeah. I feel fulfilled when I do things like that. And that happens to me with our music. When something that we wrote, even if they take the meaning in a different way, and it's not what I actually wrote it about. To them, they know what it's about, and it's about to them. And if it helps them, I got so many messages throughout our career, people thanking us for your words got me through the worst time of my life. And I think that's rewarding, man. That has always made it worth it. We're not, we'll never be Metallica. We'll never even be Opeth big. You know what I mean? We'll never be that kind of band. So if we're here and people can say that we saved their life, even one person, and I helped them through some trouble, man, I did my job, and I'm happy to be able to do that for people.
And when you guys, when you guys make an album like this, like because you are the elder statesman of the band, for lack of a better term, what is the creative process like? Are you shouldering most of the burden, or is it very collaborative?
Larry and Vito, the guitar players, are the guys who basically write the songs. They write the music. Yes. I get all the credit for your vocals. I wouldn't have shit without those guys.
Right.
Those guys give me the foundation to I only add to their brilliance.
Right.
I mean, really, I'm the least talented guy in this band, and I mean that. I'm not a musician. I never learned to play an instrument like those guys. I never learned how to properly sing. I surrounded myself with brilliant songwriters, and it made me look great.
Yeah.
They did that for me. So it's they'll come to me with this time around. They came to me with a bunch of completed songs, and of course, we'll make arrangements. So hey, let's double this. Let's stretch this out. Let's move this here. I'm part of that kind of thing. But they gave me the demos, and I sat back and listened to it. And I'll be totally honest with you. I first got all the demos, and I listened to them all the first time through, and I went, I hate all of this. This sucks. I don't think we should do a record anymore. I was just so depressed and down on myself. I couldn't even like the music. And then
it wasn't necessarily the music. It was your headspace then.
Brilliant. The music was, my headspace wasn't there. There was one song that we wrote that didn't make it on the record that we're going to go back. We recorded most of it, but we didn't finish. It's just not done. It needed to be finished. But they bring me the foundation, and then I try things. And I decided this time, after a 5-year break, I was going to show the guys something that I can do that I've never showed anyone. It goes back to me 16 years old, screaming in my car to different things. So I've always been able to do that scream. This time I never thought it fit in November's Doom, and this time on this album I decided to incorporate it. And that's the first thing I sent them, a chorus of a song and a demo to Larry. And he was like, dude, that's it. Go. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I changed my vocal style. I added to my vocal style. I didn't change anything. I still do everything that I did, but I added a new element to the vocal style that I think really opens up a whole nother level of what we can do.
And do you ascribe to any type of a voice care regimen? Because you do harsh vocals, and you have done them over the years too. Are you one of these guys that can just kind of do that effortlessly, or is there you always hear these guys with these different tricks, no talking, hot water, honey, tea, this kind of stuff?
Larry only recently got me to do warm-ups.
Yeah.
They've been on me for the entire career of the band. I never warm up. Most engineers hate me because I one take all the death metal stuff. Literally, I have videos of the stuff I can put. I'll get in the booth, one take, the death metal growls are done. It's I've always had an easy time with that for some reason. My singing, on the other hand, I have a little less confidence with that. So that takes me more time. So I have been, especially now with the screaming and the growling and the singing, I have absolutely started to incorporate I do a half hour of vocal warm-ups, and
it helps. It helps. Yeah,
yes,
it does.
Absolutely, it does.
It does help. And so what about touring? And again, getting back to my point, you have done this for a long time. I tend to talk to a lot of musicians on here, and touring seems to be, as bands get on in their careers, I'm sure it must get tough to leave behind the creature comforts and go out there for a long time. Do you guys sit around and think about or talk about the itinerary? How long do we want to go out for? I'm sure everybody has their lives. Everybody has the different things going on that they're tearing themselves away from. How is it working out tours?
Larry and I both have a lot of health issues.
Yeah.
Him and I are pretty rough, man. We got a lot of bad stuff going on. So for him and I to travel is really challenging. It's difficult. Yeah. Our touring days are over. I cannot go out for weeks and weeks on end and do this. My voice can't keep up with that anymore. The older I get, it's harder to recover every night.
Sure.
So now we're doing the old man tours where we're doing we've got a couple shows in Chicago. Then a few weeks later, we're going to New York. We got a couple of shows in New York. A few weeks after that, we'll go to the West Coast. You know, we're trying to hit all the major areas, do a couple shows in each area.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to hit as much as we can that way.
Yeah. I get that, man. That's got to be hard.
Europe, we'll do a week. We'll try to sandwich festivals, and then we'll do one-offs during the week. We'll throw in a couple acoustic shows and things like that. But yeah, man, we just do what we can when we can.
What about your own listening trends? Like when you listen to music, like around the house, what's your listening habits like? Are you one of these guys who listens to stuff that you've always been familiar with? Or are you able to find any new music out there that excites you that doesn't feel like it's been done before? I have a hard time with that.
I hardly listen to metal.
Yeah.
I used to love it, but it got to the point where I'm liking a lot of the new old school sounding death metal bands like Gatecreeper. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, they took what made those old bands great and take it a step further. So I am liking a lot of those newer what's the other ones? Frozen Soul and great death metal bands coming out. But as far as I don't throw that on too often. I like singer-songwriter stuff. I listen to a lot of coffee shop. I love music at its basic core.
Yeah.
Just give me a voice and a guitar.
Strip it down.
Man, I can just listen to that forever. I love, man. I listen to a lot of that kind of stuff, a lot of more mellow. And I have been getting into, I'm enjoying a lot of these new kids that are coming out. They don't have record labels. They're busting ass, doing it on their own on Spotify and on TikTok. Yep. And I've discovered some guys and some gals who are putting out music these days that I would have never listened to in a million years. But since I found I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks anymore. I'm enjoying a lot of other music that I probably never would have. My wife's into she likes the female gangster rap stuff. So I've been listening to that with her. We listen to a lot of weird stuff together.
And it is kind of cool because you make a good point, man. You're from that same era, like where if you were flying the metal flag and someone found out you were listening to this shit, you would be labeled the dreaded poser and you'd be ostracized.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, and in my opinion, I say that jokingly, but kind of serious. We were all posers, man. We all absolutely were. I guarantee
No question.
And there's a few of those guys who really dug in, and man, they made it their lifestyle.
Right.
But you have to make that that's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm not a metalhead by birth. I found something that I loved as my youth. Yeah. And we were kind of decent at it, and I just. At the time I wanted to give up was around like Pale Haunt, and it was like we had enough albums. We were kind of like done, and then Pale Haunt blew up, and it opened up doors for us, and it got us to Europe, and it got us, man. So at that point, it's like, well, we can't stop now. Now we're getting to see the world. We're going to Germany and places that we never got to go. So we're just that band that refuses to go away.
And Glenn Benton, for all those burning upside down crosses into his head, we don't really know that he wasn't listening to like Dionne Warwick behind closed doors. We don't know.
Hey, man, that dude, if you do that to yourself, man, you are metal to the fucking core. I will never call Benton a poser. Yeah. He made us posers. His fucking metal cred is through the roof. So, man.
And now what about these? You made a good point about these young artists who don't have labels. They're kind of doing it the DIY route or whatever. But there are still, a few of those shows kicking around. AGT, The Voice. You know, do you believe that we can find like big music stars off of these shows? I see these people win these contests, but then I think, God, but then in 3, 4, 5 years down the road, I don't hear about these people anymore, though. There's no staying
It's usually
power.
like the Daughtry, the guys who come in second place are the ones
Yes.
who actually, because they're not handed everything on a platter and they don't have the rules, so they can go out and actually do it.
I mean, do you
used to watch
shows?
that. I used to really watch like American Idol and stuff like that because TV was pretty lame and I love music. So why wouldn't I watch a show that showcases singers?
Right.
I love it, man. I love unique and talented vocalists. My daughter could have been a superstar. She's more talented than me. She's got better pitch than me. She sounds like Billie Eilish before there was Billie Eilish. This kid, and she just she doesn't have the motivation to do it, and it makes me sad because she's so talented. But yeah, there are probably artists out there that are better than anyone we've ever heard, and they just don't have the luck or the means like other people have had.
In this day and age, though, had your daughter gotten into the arts field, though, like with it being so speculative now and pretty much the non-existence of the record industry, you know, as a parent, would it make you nervous or no?
As a parent, knowing the music industry, I would have taken control of her career. I would have managed to put her on the right path. And
you'd have had to. Yeah.
You know, I could have kept her out of the bad situations. And I just know, like, for example, some of these bands coming up, I don't know if it's the same way now as it was back in the day, but you had to buy tickets to play the show.
Oh,
You had to pay to play. And as soon as you were one of those local bands that did that even one time, guess what? That was you forever.
Yeah.
You're never going to get a good spot. You're never going to grow.
Yeah.
You're going to be that guy that they know is going to be a quick $250 for you to sell tickets.
Yeah.
We never did that. Refused from day one, and I'm glad we did because that's a bullshit move by promoters.
For sure. Yeah. Now, what's your own? I talked about the band's creative process a little bit, but like you talked about, like, you know, the struggles with the mental health, the music being cathartic. What's your own process like? Like, do you get sparks of creativity? Like, I talked to guys on here who are humming stuff into their phone, or they're jotting down maybe throughout the day as they're going about their day. But there is a certain demographic of artists who can just kind of go in, lock themselves in a room, treat it like a job. I'm going to go in, I'm going to make music today. Like, what's the process like for you individually?
I'm not going to be proud to admit this in any way. Almost, God, probably every November's Doom record I've written drunk. I have to get, I have to drink.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, that's the only way I can get my brain into the darkest of shit that it opens up memories. Sure. Yeah. And I hate it, man. I do. Like, I don't drink now. It's something that I had to do. It's part of the process, and my family, and it's part of the reason I had to sit down with my family and discuss it. And I mean, even you're in such that deep mode, and I'm writing this new album, and I'm doing all the shit I have to, and I'm in the place, and I end up calling my wife by my ex's name.
Yeah.
It's kind of that, like, you're putting yourself in like the most horrible fucking positions.
Yeah.
And you gotta beg forgiveness from your family after you get out of it for your art. I had such a hard time, man. I went random traveling. I would grab my laptop and I'd jump on a plane and go with my wife. We'd go to Seattle, and I'd sit in a room in fucking Seattle for a week and try to write. Couldn't do it. And
now, what was it with the family? Do you feel like did you feel like they're going to read into the music and they're going to say, God, man, we caused this negativity? Are you writing stuff that's going to be specifically hurtful to people? You know, because you're being honest and raw with your emotions.
I write vaguely, and I've lied to people in the past. I've told people, no, that's not about you, and it was. Yeah. Just to protect feelings. I've lied to other people and said the song was about them when it wasn't. Right. I mean, I'm a shitbag like that. I've tried to keep my lyrics for me. Right. And then I put out the book where I did a lyrical explanation, and it's about 80% truth.
Yeah.
I am gonna update. I just again, a lot of my it's because of that metal cred.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I couldn't tell the truth about a lot of things because it wouldn't have been accepted. And I think differently about that stuff now, but
you're going to get your metal card pulled. Yeah.
I don't care, man. I'm losing the hair anyway. As soon as this all goes, man, the metal.
Well, no, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because I remember seeing an interview. One of my favorite artists, rest in peace, who passed away, is you mentioned Seattle, was Mark Lanigan. And when he wrote his book, he even said, he's just like, you know, I a lot like you with your lyrics. He's like, I only had to go like one way. I had to be honest, and it's going to alienate a lot of people, and you know, a lot of family of origin are going to end up hating me. You know,
I know, man. I cannot write non-truths.
Yeah,
my lyrics are 100% the truth.
Yeah.
My explanation to you on what that's about will not always be 100%.
Right. Right.
But I like when people come up with their own interpretations. For example, I guess it doesn't really matter. I could tell it. Friday, Mercy video comes out. We're dropping our second single for a song called Mercy. And right now we're filming for the third single release before the album comes out. It's a song called Ravenous. It's the full-on death metal song of this record.
Okay.
And we're doing see, the guys don't know what the lyrics could be about several different things.
Right, right.
They don't know exactly what it's about. So this video, Larry came up with the concept and took the helm. And he's running with the concept of this video. And I said, awesome. I'll show up. I will do whatever you need me to do. I'm not saying anything about it because I think that's going to be fun as hell. And it creates a new meaning for the song. And I love it. I love it.
So it's not something you're worried about his vision and your lyrics necessarily.
Oh, no. Larry and I are usually on the same page with the vision and what we see. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye, of course. It happens. Right. And so, you know, we'll pick our battles.
Yeah.
We used to fight. We used to fight like cats and dogs because we had such passion for the music and things like that. We always joke. We're like, we're going to get in a fight in the studio at least once every album.
Right.
We've gotten better over the years. I think growing older, maturity, understanding of each other, and the understanding now, we've been together so long, we've gelled, all of us. This band right now is the longest one lineup has been together, and we've all gelled together so well. There's really not much to say to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we know our job. We know what we're supposed to do. We know our limits and what we can push and what we shouldn't be pushing. And we challenge each other as well as ourselves. So I think it does work out. It works out really well all around. So yeah, I have absolutely no worries. He gave the concept. I love it. It's going to be different for November's Doom, but I think people are going to have a lot of fun with this. It's going to be cool.
And you know, you said this is the full-on death metal song on the album. You know, the metal itself is turned into so many genres, subgenres of the subgenres. You know, where do you put November's Doom at this point in your career? Do you even think of yourself as a death metal band, a metal band, a doom metal band? I seen so many labels put on you guys and other bands too.
I'll accept doom death. Yeah. Maybe I've called us because we have ballads, we have death metal songs.
Right.
And when you listen to our music, they both sound like us.
Yeah.
It's like you can hear us do like Autumn Reflection, a complete ballad, and then a death metal song like Rain. And oddly enough, they both sound like November's Doom. But you can't put the ballad in a death metal category or a doom metal category.
Right.
The death metal. So I've always just called us dark metal. We just play a darker version of somber metal.
Yeah.
So it's just been easier to do that. But I mean, if people want to call us doom death, I've said this before. This is an ego. This is pompous. This is an asshole thing to say. But you want to call us doom death? Fine. Then all you other doom death bands need to come up to our level of fucking doom metal. Because I don't consider us a doom death band. Like doom metal is trouble, and doom metal is, you know, there are fucking doom bands that own that title.
Yeah.
Even bands like My Dying Bride and are they doom death? I don't know, man. They're not. They're more. They can be gothic metal. They can be. So I think we're in a genre of bands and music that it's very, very, very hard to pigeonhole us and put it in a category. One of my biggest mistakes in the band, I think, in my career was naming the band. And that was done. I mean, I was a kid. We were kids back then.
Right.
And it comes from a Benny Hill poem. It was no birds, no bees, no flowers, no trees, no wonder November, because it's the month that everything dies off for the winter.
Yeah.
And that's why we chose the name November's Doom. It wasn't about being doom metal. And that kind of pigeonholed us. And I think a lot of non-doom fans never gave us the proper listen, or not doom non-doom fans never gave us a chance to listen to us because they had that assumption because we had the name in the band.
Yeah.
So I think that hurt us overall instead of helped us.
Yeah.
But I think we've weathered that storm long enough.
Are there other bands? Are there other bands in this genre that you're talking about, doom death? Is there anybody else that you'd put, in that genre that that do what you guys do, or like are akin to your sound?
We were doom death when we put out Amid Its Hallowed Mirth. Our first album that came out, that is doom death.
Yeah.
My Dying Bride's first album was doom death.
Yeah.
And then we all changed. And see, what's funny is we all started at the same time. We traded demos back then. We thanked each other on our first records. It's like we've known these guys. They've been our friends for years and years and years. We all grew up drawing from the same influence pool. So it's like we came up being compared to the big European three. It's like, no, we came up with them. I'm not one to sit here. I will never say we invented anything.
Right.
We did not invent anything. Were we there at the very beginning, helped mold what this is? Absolutely we were. We were one of the first. I will stick my guns to that. And we elevated the sound through our influences in other music other than metal.
Right.
Larry brings in stuff from, if we actually sat down and pointed out riffs and told you where we borrowed things from, you'd be shocked. And then you'd be like, oh my God, now I hear that.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you would typically think that we were influenced by.
It's camouflaged. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's happened with all of these bands. We wanted melody. We wanted harmony. We wanted sing-along. We wanted all this in our metal. So we had to change. We were no longer that doom death. Paradise Lost was doom death, their first record.
Yep.
They went on the gothic style, and we've all transformed our music over the years. So it's none of us are doom death. You got to find those old school. I did a record for friends of mine. They came to me and asked me to do a feature vocalist spot. They're Falling Leaves. Okay. And I did one song with them years ago, and they came to me this past year and they said, we would love you to do the vocals on the whole album. And I had to think about it, and I listened to the music, and what they were asking me for was Paul from Amid Its Hallowed Mirth days. And I struggled, man. I'm like, okay, I can, let me try this. And I'm sending them like demos, and it sounds like me today. And they're like, man, we want yesterday's Paul. So I had to dig deep and find it again.
Yeah.
But
where is that guy?
I did it because it was fun. I don't know when that's coming out. It should be in a few months, but you'll get to hear me on another like classic sounding doom death record. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
And now you kind of alluded to the fact a couple minutes ago that it almost sounded like you were at some point not sure if you wanted to continue to make albums or to make music. Was that was that kind of synonymous like with the mental health?
Yeah, we say this all the time. I think the whole band says this shit after every album. They're like, oh, this is probably our last one. We've said that for the last 6 albums. So, you know what? We have decided since the 5-year hiatus and everything, 6-year hiatus and the new album, we've had many band conversations and meetings, and even with our management and everything. And we have come to the decision as a band, if it's not fun, we're not doing it.
Right.
So
right.
It has to be fun. And right now we're having a blast. We're booking shows. We can't wait to get out and play this new material. We are super high on this record. So we're excited to get out there and actually promote it. So yeah, right now, I would say there's a good chance that we're definitely going to think about writing again in the near future. Okay. I think if we ride that, it won't be another 6. I'll be lucky if I'm here in 6 years. So it won't be another 6 years, man. I'd like to get back on the 2-year cycle.
But do you take the approach of most rock and rollers are always like, yeah, I'm going to be up on that. I'm going to do this till the wheels fall off. Or do you have like an exit strategy? Do you have I don't want to still be making this kind of music in X amount of years, or we're not going past X amount of albums, or are you kind of just playing it by ear?
I tell you, man, it's fun. I've been friends with the guys in the band Macabre. Long time. Grew up with, I know those guys very well. So I remember the bass player, Chuck Nefarious. He had his 34th birthday. This is how long back we're going. It was his 34th birthday. And I did the flyers for his surprise party. Yeah. And with his girlfriend, Mary, at the time. And I'm looking at the fly, and I'm younger than him. I'm a few years younger. I'm looking at this and I'm going, wow, 34 years old. Do I really want to be 34 years old on stage growling like an asshole? Yeah. And now I'm 53 and I'm still on stage growling like an asshole. Yeah. But it gets harder and harder, especially to recover. I could probably pull off 2 shows in a row and then I need a break. Then I got to let this heal. It's not that it just doesn't heal quickly anymore.
I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand. It's one of the smallest muscles, in the body, and it is your instrument, though. And it's not something you can just like plug into an amp like a guitar. That's not to impugn what the other guys in the band do. You know what I mean? Accomplished guitar players, bass players, drummers, or whatever, man. But you are dealing with, the human anatomy.
I had this new album recording it 1 week prior to my scheduled recording of vocals. I got strep throat.
Yeah. Of course you did.
I did. Right. I did an online doctor call and I got a woman on and I begged her. I said, look, I need to record this album in 1 week. Please give me steroids. I need steroids for my throat. You need to make me better yesterday. Yeah. And she came through for me. And it's the strongest vocal performance I've ever done. So steroids, man, I'm highly suggest before you go record.
Vocalists out there, get your steroids in.
Get some steroids in, man, because your voice, it sounds great.
Now I know people get asked this a lot, man. To quote unquote, rank their work or whatever. But where's this album? And I know you made the point at the top of the interview. People always say this is their best album. This is their best album. Do you really believe that about this album, though, or do you think there's November's Doom albums that are better?
I don't think there's albums that are better. I don't even think there's songs that are better, but I truly think it's really hard to judge and really hard to say. In my personal opinion, as a fan of my band, and I'm not a fan of myself, I'm a fan of my band. I love what those guys create. I'm proud to be a part of them. Yeah. As a fan of the band, even my wife, who was a fan of the band before I met her, she's even told me with this, she said, this is Gary, the drums Gary laid down on this is Gary's amazing. I don't know. He plays in the band Trouble. He was in Abigail Williams. Gary is one of the best drummers, in my opinion, in metal today. Yeah. That's why he's in a million bands, because he's so good. Everybody wants him.
Right.
He does, in my opinion, the best recording, anything he's ever laid down. This is some of Larry's best solos he's ever done. And we're all hard on ourselves. Like, we go, oh, man, I could have done better. But we listened back to it as a whole. I don't think any of us could have done much better.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Are you just like, like, would you attribute it to, geez, we're just seasoned now? We're veterans?
We needed to do this.
Yeah.
It's something we all personally needed to prove to ourselves, I think. Yeah. After the hard 6 years, I think we just really needed to be like, you know what, man? If we're going out, we're going to go out on our terms. And we're going to go out on top. Let's go out on the best fucking thing we can possibly do if we choose to. And I think that's the goal we have when we sit down to start the cycle of another album process. We sit down with the mentality of, this is our last. Let's make it our best.
Right.
And we try to push. And I think that is probably the key on why we've challenged and pushed ourselves and push it. Because at the end of every cycle, it comes out and we sit there and go, maybe this is the one.
Right.
Maybe this is the one that'll open up some more doors for. And it's, we're as big as we're ever going to get. I know that. I'm hoping we're attacking it a little differently this time. Like, we're playing Prog Power this year for the first time, which I was shocked we were asked. I never thought we'd play a show like that, but it made sense. It finally made sense. So I think if we can start presenting this new album to a new audience, it might do us some good. It might actually open up some new doors for us. And that's all we're hoping for, man. We'd like to go out, play some festivals, play some shows here and there, and end with this on a happy note.
Have you ever had like lulls or like times when you were stuck writing, or has it always been pretty easy and effortless?
Bled White.
Yeah.
I wrote the lyrics. I didn't start writing lyrics for Bled White, which means I had no melodies or harmonies or anything.
Right.
But 2 weeks before recording, I had writer's block. I could not write. I had nothing. And 2 weeks before, I looked at the calendar and went, I start recording in 2 weeks. I don't have a single word written. I don't know what I'm going to do. And alcohol, yay. So but
like you're making like you're making light of the alcohol thing, man. But I mean, was that the only way through it though? I mean, like the only way around it?
Yeah, yeah, man, it really is. When especially with writer's block, I have ADHD really bad. Yeah. So my brain is constantly talking. Yeah. It's noisy all the damn time. There's 2 songs on the new album about this. There's one called Chatter.
Yeah.
And then there's one called Bleed Static. Because the 2 things in my mind, like the static, it's loud. It's this loud sound I always hear.
Yeah.
And the chatter, the talking, it's like I can't focus on one thing. Do this, stop this, go do this, go do this.
Right.
So sit down and try to focus and write an album. I have to get that head clear. I got to clear it out. I'm hyper as it is. I'm talkative. I bounce around. I got to calm down. I got to slow down. I got to get to a place where I can open up that dungeon door and allow myself to walk into it. And the only way I can, like, I guess, get the courage to walk down those stairs is to get drunk.
Yeah.
Get buzzed in a way. And like there are stuff on this record. Like, I've woke up the next morning and gone, all right, I got to go read what I wrote, because I don't even know where I was last night. And then I'll read back, and some of it I'm like, oh, this is gone. This is absolutely horrible. Yeah. And then other stuff I'm like, man, I nailed that. So it just depends. I go through a lot of process. I probably have 15 or 20 other songs of lyrics that I wrote for this record that just didn't make the cut. So I got a lot of old stuff. I sometimes, like, if I get in a writer's block, I will go back to older records, like lyrics I never used, and try to draw inspiration from something on that. But no, I gotta force it, man. I gotta find a way to get to that spot so I can write.
Are you an old school guy, pen to paper? Are you a phone guy? Are you a memos in your phone? Are you a like humming or singing ideas or speaking ideas into your phone? Like, what are you, like, more analog, more pen to the paper?
Dude, that's a great question, man. I've never been asked that before. That's a great question. I used to be a pen and paper guy. I used to like the feeling of writing the words and scratching it out. But as technology changed and things got better, like there's a lot of times where I'll be driving and something, I'll get a verse or two lines in my head, and I'll grab my phone and go to messages or something, and I'll throw some lines down. So I have used technology quite to my advantage coming up last couple albums for sure. Just note taking, and
you kind of have to.
I like to write at the laptop. Yeah, I do like sitting down with the keyboard in front of me, and because then I can throw up a window of something and check for something else and find inspiration, or if there's a word I need to look up, or I need a synonym for a word that I've used too much. And it's nice to have the technology in front of me to be able to get my job done quicker.
Now, I know you're a big Star Wars guy. You know, I grew up in the Star Wars area as well. Is there a Star Wars character that you feel like you resonate with the most, or resonates with you the most, I should say?
My Luke Skywalker.
Luke's your guy? Yeah.
Luke has been my hero. I remember two things my entire life, and that's Spider-Man and Star Wars.
Okay.
I have loved the two of them since I can remember walking and talking. I have boxes and boxes. I have every Spider-Man toy from the 90s still in the packages.
Yeah.
Ridiculous obsession. But Luke Skywalker, man, that he was the epitome of hope. It was, no matter what form of darkness there were, no matter how evil his father was, he refused to see the negativity.
Yeah.
He focused on the light and the positivity and brought hope. And that was a hero that, like, as a kid, we needed that. So I really gravitated towards Luke Skywalker and the hero's journey. I love it all. I mean, the Empire, the dark side's cooler. Like, they just look cooler.
Yeah, they are.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, no, I love it all. It is a wonderful world of disconnection, where you can just escape and go to a complete galaxy. It is complete. There are different languages and different planets, and you can escape to anything you want. And I just I love that. I absolutely love that.
Is there a movie? Is there a specific movie? I mean, because you are in that same age group as me. You know, do the older ones, and when I say older, I'm talking about, you know, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. Do those ones resonate with you more than what they did in the current times?
Oh God, absolutely. It is Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. That is my holy trinity. Yeah, that is where all begins and ends. Yeah. Anything outside of that, to me, is fluff for the story.
Yeah.
Except for Andor.
Okay.
And Rogue One, that man, that goes beyond storytelling.
Do you think it's maybe because, you know, and I know they've done so much with CGI and so much with special effects, you know what I mean? Like, they can make everything more realistic. But I feel like when you watch those old movies, though, it still kind of holds up, even though it looks cheesier than what we're used to now. But back then, it was mind-blowing when you were a kid.
If you go back and watch the original cut, it's pretty horrible. It does not hold up. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
We only see it as decent now because they have cleaned it up and special. It's so many times. They've made it look almost timeless.
Right.
So
yeah,
man, there is a charm. I don't like that they changed Boba Fett's voice.
Yeah.
I get why they did it, but I prefer the original Empire voice. I mean, all that stuff. It's just it's nostalgia. It's so when they break canon in these new shows, I get mad. I don't like that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it seems like nothing is sacred no more. Like, they'll even go back and take these classic 80s movies. It's almost like they've run out of ideas and they're just going to go back and remake everything. And it's not always for the better. It's not always for the better.
You don't remake Star Wars. You don't remake The Exorcist. You don't remake The Godfather.
Right.
You don't Enter the Dragon, The Crow. There are certain movies that you should not touch.
Agreed.
Period.
Yeah.
And but we will. We'll ruin them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we certainly will. And so this new album drops September 19th. Okay.
It does. For those who are attending Prague Power,
Okay.
As long as all goes well, we will have copies of the album to sell 2 weeks early for those at Prague Power.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Any of you leak it online, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, bastards. Yeah, don't do that. Come on, man.
We're going to leak our own shit 2 weeks early, man. So everyone be cool. Don't put it online.
Yeah, you guys are allowed to do it, but for God's sakes, man, let's leave a little bit of mystery in the world. Come on, for God's sakes, man. Can't anything be pure anymore?
It used to be shit leaked months early. They've pretty much tightened that down. Like, albums don't leak like they used to. I'm pretty thankful for that.
Were you pro Lars when he went up against Napster?
No, I was stealing music like everybody else, man. I was a dick, but now I'm like, dude was right. I mean,
he was right. He was right.
They saw it before anybody did, and they were right.
I think the only reason people were pissed is because they, I think they already saw Metallica, at that point as multimillionaires. But who are they to say that they don't deserve to make more money? This is what they do, and they've struck it rich, and they've gotten very lucky where a lot of bands didn't. So this just means that the general public is saying, okay, you guys have made enough money. Now we get to have your art for free. I mean,
I look at it, they were fighting for us. They didn't need the money. They were fighting for them. They were fighting for bands like us, and we didn't see it at the time. We were mad they were taking our free music away.
Right.
And look where we are now.
And nobody really stood shoulder to shoulder with them either at the time.
Nope.
It was kind of that same thing that happened to Pearl Jam back in the 90s when they were trying to rally against Ticketmaster there. Nobody really stood up with them or whatever. Who was your first musical influence? Do you remember who really, a band or an album or a song that really got its hooks in you that made you say, I want to do this?
There's a couple different things for this.
Okay.
My biggest musical influence in my life was my sister.
Okay.
Not a musician, but she's 6 years older than me.
Yep.
So growing up and idolizing my sister, she was one of the cool kids. She was older. She was really big into Kiss.
Okay.
So as a kid, like grade school, I had like the Peter Criss notebook and then the fucking Ace Frehley lunchbox.
Sure.
And I love that stuff as a kid. It was the mystique and everything. And so, and as I got older, my taste went into like AC/DC and, stuff like that. And then that day in the 80s happened and I heard like Slayer for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember it was Kill Again.
Yeah.
And I heard that song and I went, what is this I am listening to?
Yeah.
And it had opened up my world and I found Metallica and that's when my musical taste completely shifted.
But you made mention that you never picked up an instrument though. Do you, do you know why? Was there always a singer inside of you?
I took guitar lessons. You know what? It's probably my ADHD and my impatience. Yeah. I wanted to get in there with that guitar, and I wanted to play like metal.
Me too. Me too. I try. Me too. I've hit on a lot of the stuff that you've said. During the course of our conversation, really strikes a chord with me. I'm like that too. I want to pick something up, and I want to be proficient at it in 5 minutes.
I played bass for a while because it's 4 strings. It was easier. Right. And then it just got to a point where I'm not good at either of these. I'm just gonna I'm playing bass and singing. I'm going to put the bass down and just focus on the vocals.
Yeah.
And So I forgot what that led to. There was a question before that. I forgot where
we were talking about your musical influences, but those are pretty, I do hear Kiss as a lot of artist gateway drug on here though.
Yeah. Iron Maiden, it just came up. And I mean, a lot of those bands, Ozzy, of course, and Black Sabbath. And then when it got time for me to want to be in a band, when I finally realized, man, I want to do this, it was Chicago bands and the band Forbidden.
Oh yeah.
These are the bands that molded me and changed. All right. So I didn't have the luxury of hearing what I wanted my band to be at that time. I had to build our sound out of my influences. So I wanted female vocals. I wanted opera female vocals in the band. That's Celtic Frost. They're one of the first bands I ever heard do something like that. It was so hard. I wanted that style. And then Chicago bands, the Chicago Devastation, and then the singer moved on and then turned into Syndrome from Chicago. Those 2 bands had the biggest influence on me vocally. The Growls. They were the only bands that I ever heard that audibly growled. that you understood the words they were saying. And that was really, really important to me at the time. So I molded my entire growling career off them and being as audible as possible.
That's big. Yeah, that's big. It's people I try to turn on to extreme metal, man. That's usually their biggest gripe. I don't understand what they're saying. You know,
and even moms can understand what I'm growling. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's usually the biggest. Yeah, that's usually the biggest point of contention when I try to turn people on, to extreme and metal. They're always just like, I'm just hearing a bunch of growling. I don't know what I'm listening to here. You know,
right.
And I get that point. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. It probably makes the listening experience a bit more unenjoyable. You know.
Yeah.
I understand that. And now you brought up, the fact that for many years you were a martial arts practitioner. Did that help level out? Did that help level out the moods and the anxiety and the mental health issues?
Huge. So I got into martial arts. I got the shit beat out of me sophomore year of high school. It wasn't my fault. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And that kind of like changed things for me. I'm like, I don't want to be a victim.
Yeah.
That sucked, man. I got blindsided. I didn't see it coming. It knocked me out. I woke up. He's sitting on my chest. I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
So I needed to do something for myself. And I got into martial arts and it changed my life.
Any particular discipline?
Oh yeah. I got into Jeet Kune Do concepts, Junfan, Gung Fu, Ali, Eskrima, Penjak Silat. I did all of the Filipino martial arts. So I took a very different, it wasn't Taekwondo, it wasn't karate. It was that overkill art. It was MMA before there was MMA.
Sure.
It was Bruce Lee 1963 modified Wing Chun to be Junfan Gung Fu. That's what I trained in. I've got instructor's degrees in a lot of this stuff. That was my passion. That was my life. Even over music. I was going to be a martial artist for my life. I was going to open a school. My instructor, Ron, moved to California. I was going to move. I was up and ready. I was going to move to California right out of high school to go with him. He ended up marrying Diana Liana Santo, who's now one of my dear friends, and she's Beth in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So my instructor, Ron, is the one-eyed Tusken in the Book of Boba Fett around the campfire. All those guys are on the campfire. I know a bunch of those guys. They're a bunch of martial. So yeah, man, it's weird how the small worlds kind of do come together. But
because you do always hear about like a lot of the a lot of the things that draw people to the martial arts, other than the physical aspects of it, is the calming influence, the self-confidence, all the other little nuances that you pick up from it.
I would train 8 hours a day, every single day. I would leave high school. I had the key, so I would go open up the school at 3 in the afternoon, and I wouldn't leave until 10 p.m., 10:30 at night. And I did that every single day. My weekends were my private training. So I had instructors that I had teaching me private instruction on the weekends as well in different arts. Sarada Eskrima. Me and my best friend were the two youngest people in the United States to be certified instructors in Sarada Eskrima. We were 15 at the time. So this has been a part of my life. It changed me, and it was calming. Absolutely. Working out, getting that aggression out on the heavy bags, or just rolling in jiu-jitsu. We called it shudo. In Japanese wrestling, it's the same art.
Right.
Different names for moves.
Right.
But and a therapeutic is all hell. And then I got a spine disease, and it kind of took me out of it.
And does it still help you? Do you still practice?
No, like I said, I got a spine disease.
Okay.
Degenerative. It kind of I can't roll anymore. There's certain things I can't do. I have been handicapped for many years. Like I said, health issues. This is one of the things why I travel. My back is always on fire.
I don't think I have it as bad as you, but I've had a ruptured disc. I've had my back opened up and operated. I've had my back opened up and operated on 2 times in that chronic pain. And just the little things, man. Yeah, the people don't understand. It's a war of attrition sometimes just to get down and tie a shoe. I mean,
I had emergency gallbladder surgery 2 weeks ago. I'm recovering from now, and my back hurts worse because I've kind of neglected my back recovering from the other surgery. It's the last few weeks. It's just been a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the new album, man. And listen, man, I really enjoyed the conversation, man. I appreciate you being so generous with your time, man. This was a lot of fun, man. Really.
Yes, it was. I fully appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the album, man. And, for sure, stay in touch. After it's out and you get some of these dates under your belt, I'd love to have you back on.
Man, I'd love to come back. This was fun.
Yeah, appreciate you, Paul. Thanks so much. Best of luck with the album, man.
Thanks, Rex. Take care.
Yeah. We'll talk again soon, my friend. Thank you. Later.
Bye-bye.
And there he goes, folks. Paul Kuhr, November's Doom, new album, dropping September 19th. Major Arcana. The title track is up now on streaming platforms. Do yourself a favor and go check it out. Their last album was 2019, Nephilim Grove. And they got a great discography out there as well. Like many of the bands I have on here. Go back, dive in. November's Doom, a very unique sound. Elements of doom metal, as Paul said. Elements of death metal and growling. Elements of beautiful, clean vocals. Heavy, somber, beautiful, poetic. A lot of amazing elements at work in the music of November's Doom. Vocalist Paul Kuhr right there. Appreciate. And again, a perfect example of what we do here on PodScum. We were all over the board talking Star Wars, martial arts, health issues, mental health, all kinds of stuff. That's what we're doing here, revitalizing the basic elements of the conversation. And we were just doing that right there with the great Paul Kuhr. That's what I love the most. That's what gets me off the most. Just amazing, real, basic conversation. That's what it's all about, folks. We've lost that in the era of technology a bit, but we can bring it back. We can bring it back. Pull your noses out of your devices. Of course, you're watching me on a device right now. Don't pull your nose out of your device when you're watching my podcast. But in the real world, converse with people, engage, make eye contact, be present as much as you can. I know everyone's not going to put down their devices and just completely go back to the 70s and the 80s. Not going to happen. We've already turned the corner, man. We're past the point of no return. But anyway, I digress. Again, make sure to like and follow PodScum on Facebook. Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum is the Facebook page. Both podcasts, one Facebook. News updates for both podcasts on there. You will be informed if it's popping off in the boxing world or the music, arts, and entertainment world. I'm putting it up there. No, trust me, you'll be informed. Both genres, both podcasts, news, updates, new episodes dropping, what guests are coming up, all that shit, yada, yada, yada. Plus, if something big is jumping off in the fight game or the music world, I'm on it. So check us out there on Facebook, Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. And if you're here on the channel right now, like, subscribe, smash the notification bell to stay tapped in. This is where you need to be. This is where the conversations are going down and where you can see and hear them. So definitely make sure to get tapped in here. And of course, September 19th, be looking for that new November's Doom album dropping, Major Arcana. It's coming up fast. It's coming up fast. We're almost to August right here. And go check out their website. I didn't get a chance to tell Paul where to peep information on November's Doom, but they're all out there on the socials. You guys don't need to have your hands held no more. Come on, we all know how to use social media. Go to November's Doom website. I'm sure they have an Instagram. Yada, yada, yada. Y'all know how to work your devices by now. Your noses are in them enough. So go out there, check them out, get out to a show, buy some merch, cop the new album, download it, stream it, listen to it, immerse yourself in it. And as I said, go out and support them if they're coming to a town near you. And as Paul said, they're not out there hitting the road, like they did years ago. You're not going to catch them, fucking doing 100, 150 dates a year. Those days are gone. So when they do come near you, catch them. Do yourself a favor and catch them. And again, be looking for that new album, September 19th, and tap into them on social media and find out what's going on with them. That being said, again, like and follow us on Facebook and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay tapped in with us, man. And of course, heed my words when I tell you, and this is coming from your boy, the son of glam, the king of sleaze, the only loved child of Diamond David Lee Roth. So when I say it, listen, remember to take it easy and keep it sleazy.